Good morning, Ramon. Good morning, team. We're back again for another fun-filled week of sports complimentary selections, sports betting picks right here. The whole rundown of the professional sports. We got WNBA today. They start off early. And then, of course, we got the MLB, where I guess they say if you like runs, this is the place to be, Ramon. 4 teams scored over 10 themselves? They said first time it's happened since in the 19th century.
Well, Mindy, it was going crazy last night with the runs. Okay, so let's get the lowdown. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the morning steam with the Midwest Premier Sports Handicapper, Mindy Hahn. I'm your host, Ramon Scott, coming to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. Last night, Mindy,
Right.
We did not reach the 200 run plateau. It's like a magic number, kind of.
Okay.
In Major League Baseball, we got to 196. Now that's if you don't count the completion of the suspended game, which would have put it over. Now, right, the 15 games had 197 runs total. Second most in the last 10 years, fourth most all time, or tied for fourth.
Something like that.
So right, here's the record's 222.
Oh, is it?
You're like, oh, when was that? Like last month or something, right? But it was actually in 1962. Believe it or not. But here's the catch. There were 20 games that day, including 5 doubleheaders or something.
Yeah, I think I read something, too, that they said that in that season they averaged like 7.26 runs a game, where now it's at 4.36, something like that as well. So
right. And they, back then, doubleheaders were quite more normal than they are certainly now, and less normal than even further back in the day. But doubleheaders were quite a popular thing because they didn't play 6 and 7 days a week. A lot of times they'd play towards the weekends a little bit, and the advent of all the teams getting lights. By then most of the teams had lights, but
minus the Cubs.
Right. But so 1962, there was this massive day of 222 runs. But like I said, five doubleheaders that day. Okay. There weren't as many teams, but there were 20 games. Last night, of course, only 15 games, 197 runs. Didn't quite get to the just 2 years ago, there was a day with more than 200. I believe it was 202 or 204 runs. That was the most in the last 10 years. So
yeah, the big deal was the 4 teams going over the 10 runs, right?
All those 2 games. Here's one I didn't see. I was trying to, I don't know, 11 to 10 is not that outrageous. Right? But there were 2 games that were 11 to 10.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wonder if that's, I know 11 to 10 could happen twice on one day. That would be out of the question. But was it the first time that? Here's the funny thing about it, Minnie. The American League Central, if we had to think of any division that doesn't hit as well as the other divisions, they scored the most runs, 50 runs. And who scored the least runs? The American League East, 8 runs between all the teams.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
So just outrageous offense. Yeah. Right, of all teams, the Royals get 11, and even the Tigers get 10. Well, hey, thanks for touting my premium pick, Mindy, on the over in that game. So, yeah, what a crazy. Now, here's the thing, right? Not tying it into like a controversial news pattern, but
sure you are.
It's hot. It's hot all over the country, right? And the temperatures, we already know that. We talk about when we get into the summer months, the runs are going to, the ball travels a little farther. When we get to the playoffs, it's cold, or cold, not as cold. I don't know. I guess with this controversial extreme weather, it gets even colder when it's cold and hotter when it's, so the ball's flying all over the place. Will it happen today? Mindy, that's what I'm going to be asking you over the next several minutes when we talk about Major League Baseball. Will it happen today? Will you have more overs than unders? We'll see. But just caution everybody, you're not going to, even though a bunch of bad pitchers came out there and gave up a bunch of will. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen today. And there's day games today. I don't know. Some people say, well, the day game it travels for. I'm not so sure, man. That 7 o'clock hour, the temperature just seems more perfect, right, for maybe
Right.
the ball taking off. So I don't know. Just it was outrageous. It just kept coming. It started off with just like 30 minutes into the games, right? You're already seeing 4-0, 5-0, and then there was a 7-0,
Yeah.
and then all the runs started to pile up. So we'll see. We'll see if that's the direction you go. We will start with WNBA today because of the 2 matinee games. So where is our WNBA crew? Let's say hello to everyone.
There's Alan. He's here.
He's here. Okay, I haven't even looked. I'm sorry I ignored the chat. I was just so into the talk of this runs as the big discussion of the day. So I'll want to say hello to everyone, including who's for Perky was here first. I'm the governor. You're the president. Perky, what happened? The Ocean Beach Pier got shut down yesterday. Made the big deal, big news, and the toilets backed up. They had to get everybody off the pier so no one gets sick. All right. Here's Ron is here today. He says I'm the president. I don't know. I mean, we don't have any official.
No one's going to elect a woman for president. Come on now.
Well, Mindy is the executive producer of this show. I'm the host. Ron, hello. Blake is here.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that Sun team
I had something about Tennessee. I'm trying to think of what it was now all of a sudden. What's the big news where you're at, Blake? I'm trying
Wasn't it where they had to give back their games? Like we forgot that
no, that wasn't what I was going to bring up. That made some people feel,
not that
we
one.
want to pick on Tennessee. I mean,
I'm just saying, it's not like we don't know they didn't win. Like, it's not like we don't know Reggie won the Heisman. I mean, I just think it's kind of mute point to be like, oh,
well, but still, when you look at that, not just because nowadays they can give you a house as they did for Reggie's parents in Spring Valley. Just because they can remember nobody else could get one back then, right? So yeah, I mean, looking at what happens now, you could say, well, what about Red? But no, well, I guess it wasn't as public.
Well, they didn't ever give it to the second place, right? Did they
other people are getting? Yeah.
Did they give out the Heisman again to the second place winner? I don't think they did.
No. But also another, speaking of retroactive, Pete Rose, the commissioner said the All-Star break still Pete Rose still no invite to the Hall of Fame for his, and here's a guy who, would make fun of Pete. He was just a guy calling in nickel and dime bets on like every team because he's bored. He was like us, right? He's just gambling away. It's not like he was using his, sure he was using whatever knowledge he had, but
of course,
but still he was just betting, nickel. He was probably betting a little more, 2,000-3,000 a game, whatever his bookie would let him play. If a bookie's going to let him write a whole sheet, he wasn't doing too well. All right. Hello, Thomas. Hello.
Was it the DeAndre Hopkins signing? He wants to know.
Oh, okay. No, it's something.
All right. Probably that they're getting the raise, something like that.
Sports in Tennessee or something. But yeah, Thomas. What's Thomas saying? I'm not understanding what Tom. Maybe you can help me on that. But Thomas is talking about maybe the baseball games themselves.
They were talking about training camp for football there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're definitely underway. Can't get enough. Look, I love the shows. I was watching them yesterday. I love the ones across, but hey, here's a little thing just to let everybody know. A little on the down low, but hey, head over to the Discord. I've got like 6 or 7 preview magazines in there. If you guys are into that sort of stuff, the best magazines that everyone likes to read. I don't want to say which ones they are because I'm going to put the Discord, though, in the chat. If anybody wants to go over there, just scroll back a little bit. Got all the best preview magazines, and I'll have more, too. Don't tell anybody. Takia, hello. Verley's here. There's Alan. He's ready to go. He's going to grab his 2 games and probably leave, but that's okay. He's our expert.
Right.
Yeah, the weather's not crazy. Well, but it was the rain in Ohio, at least in Cincinnati, right? They completed the first game, and then they had a rain delay before the second game. The Solos here. Mindy, last night's I had a premium winner in the WNBA with that under, and it didn't start out that way, but just like every game right now, Mindy, they're all stopping in the second quarter.
That's right.
And I also
had 2 unders there as well.
You had both? Oh,
yep.
Great. Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah, I did like the Sun there, and they just came out flat. That's for certain.
Yeah, I did see you'd like. I did send out the Mercury on social media as my side pick there, but
yeah, they look good.
Fernando, hello. Joe Hill here. All right. He told us Cleveland Cavs. He said, "Is that right?" Well, I might have had. I don't know if I was touting, but I did say, but we had that game pretty much, and Isaiah Mobley was pretty awesome, and I mentioned him, I think, on that preview. Said I love Isaiah Mobley, and everybody knows I love the Mobley brothers.
That's right.
All right, and all right, all that scoring. All right, we're gonna go over to Tony'sPicks.com and see how we did. I know Mindy and I had profitable days with our premium picks. And I think the interesting thing about the Mercury, Mindy, they led that game from start to finish.
Oh, yeah. And just we were crushing them. It was like, 30-16 at one point or something. Just got out and never let up.
Trey is here as well. All right. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com and see how we did. We were both, let's see. So I was 5. We were both 5-3 yesterday with our premium pick, so that works. Just getting done with our Steam picks, but we didn't have you guys. We didn't have our chat, Mindy. So let's get back on the ball with some winners. Our chat will help us. Anika Sharma 6-2, Tim Irwin 3-0, Nick Vartini 5-2. And Joseph Schultz, 2-1, Tyler Coleman, Daniel Wolasachuk, the VIP account, Collins and Brown, all in the green, 10 cappers at Tony'sPicks.com, putting up a winning day. But Tiffany still on top over the last 7 days, up 856 units. Tim Irwin clicking in at 67%. Hollywood Sam's up over a nickel as well over the last week. Over the last 30 days, Tim Irwin, great job. 1,800 profit. Collins Brown there, up 900 over the last 30 days over at Tony'sPicks.com. And Joseph Schultz is up a nickel over the last 30 days at Tony'sPicks.com. Make sure you head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off of all of our premium picks. Mindy and I are about to give you a bunch of free winners in just a moment on all these games, but we'll be on the ball and get our premium picks in right after this show because don't forget, right, we talked about the WNBA, but we got half the baseball schedule is also a day card. So check it out. And hey, Mindy, if our picks aren't good enough for the folks watching, going to have about 150 more come in from our expert chat. How's that? All right.
Sounds good to me.
Peasy's here today, waiting on my song.
Peer pressure.
Peasy's awesome. I was actually with Peasy to a certain extent last night, hanging out in a super secret chat room with a couple of dozen other people like me. You know what, Mindy, talk about the chat. I'm one of the chat. That's how I got started in not handicap. I mean, I've done this all my whole life, selling picks, newsletters, 900 numbers, all that. But kind of got back into it by hanging out in YouTube chat rooms. So thanks to our chat. And love you guys. All right. We're going to start with the W today. Mindy?
All right, let's do it.
Let's see what we got first. It's let me make sure we got the latest line, because both these games have been on the move a little bit already, probably because of the early start times with these two games. The first one starts in 2 hours, so get ready. It's the Fever. They're on the road at the Mystics. I don't know if this one caught you by surprise, or we know the Fever has been drastically improved. We know the Mystics are a good team. Let me get out of Tony'sPicks.com there. All right. Take a look at this one, Mindy, right now with the Fever and the Mystics, right? So the Mystics, yeah, I think we can agree they're a pretty good team. They've lost some games. The Fever are back to being the Fever. Remember, before their stumble here over the last 2 or 3 seasons, they were a pretty okay franchise. So here, though, just 2.5, and the total 158. This one has moved down a bit. It was 3, and the totals moved. The reported steam came in on the over, but I'm seeing this one at 158.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those that it's kind of like you were talking, right? I mean, the Fever's lost 8 straight games now. They haven't won since June 22nd. They're allowing quite a bit of, quite a few points here, 90 or more in their last 6 of 11. But yeah, I mean, the Mystics are kind of facing some of these injury issues, right? Even though they are 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games, still winning games with some, folks out like Elena. But for me, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the Fever on the road here in this one. It is kind of a weird line, right? I would kind of think that Washington should be favored with a little bit more, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Fever here today. They've still been scoring about 93 points a game. Maybe this little bit of rest got them re-energized on the defensive side. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Fever here today.
Nice to have Fonzie back. I'm trying to remember if that was Fonzie. Did he have a different name before?
No.
I know it was Fonzie, but was it Fonzie Make Money?
I don't know. I think it might.
I know that.
Been,
I mean, I know Fonzie was with us for
Yeah, because I can notice his face, right?
Yes, right. Very distinguishable, and distinguished. Fonzie Make Money. Nice to see you. But hey, Langston does say exactly that. That's the news, certainly, that no Deladon, no Atkins, right? I think Atkins is out too. I should call up this complete injury report. Those are just the ones off the top of my head, and I'm thinking, are there more? You guys, talk about it right there. Let's see. Yeah, Ariel Atkins definitely is out with that ankle injury. So Langston says he still wants to take some Mystics without Elena, but it'll be tough to contain Boston and company. And watch out, Caldwell could have one of her better games. She doesn't, contribute a whole lot, but I don't know. I like the Fever here, Mindy. I almost like them on the money line. Ash is going under in this one. And yeah, Perky, here's the deal. These games go off before the baseball games do.
Right. And it's only 2, so you only have to suffer through about 5 minutes. It's okay.
Yeah. Both these games are day games here. In the summer, they have more day games in the WNBA. That's what they kind of do. Kids go to the games and have a great time. So.
Yeah. They are quite the rowdy crowds there with all those kids.
Right. Good enthusiasm.
Yeah. That is good, though, that you're excited about it. It won't make them excited about it to play sports here in the, as they get older.
Hey, maybe this one is equaling it up. I mean, I certainly think Cloud can step up and have a huge game for the Mystics. I also think that Hawkins can have a good game against Boston. Look, Boston's a really good offensive player. I think sometimes she is, she's not as tall as those other centers.
6'5", yeah.
Yeah, some of those centers.
There's a lot more that are taller than her for sure. 6'5" is.
She does give up.
Out on the
She's
field.
very tenacious, but she sometimes is outstatted in rebounding a little bit and some other categories. Certainly not in scoring or not. She does such a good job. So yeah, no Deladon. That's why I think the line is down. But I still want to take the Fever. Mindy, big chance here for the Fever. To pick up a win. Look. It's 5-15 is nothing to write home about. What kind of cliche you want to come up with there? But I'll agree with you. You're on the Fever. I'm on the Fever.
Fever.
Yeah, this one gets underway in just 2 hours. Here's the thing, man. And yes, it is only 2.5 points, but for their 5-15 record straight up, they're 11-3 against the spread as an underdog.
Not too shabby.
So, yeah, you wish we were getting more points, but the personnel issues kind of make it for what it is. Washington also 6-8 against the spread as a favorite. So we're on the Fever. I don't know if anybody else is joining us. Burley said go under, but I don't know if there's anybody else on it. So let's just move on to the next one.
All right.
Yeah, Jared. One of the things, so I was in that chat room, Mindy, and in the fourth inning, my contribution to the chat, so let you know what happens in these chat rooms. I said in the game with the Braves and the Diamondbacks that I was going to bet, will there be a run next inning? A player prop that happened. You could say, will there be a run? And I bet for the rest of the game, yes. And it cashed
every time.
5-1. There were 2 innings in the game, the third inning and I think the 6th inning where there were no runs scored in that game. So I was casting props on that.
I'm just cashing everywhere. I'm just making cash.
That was what I took. They were bandying about, hey, do you want to go over at that point? It was
like, well, yes, I do.
Right. They were like, oh, do we want to go, over 18.5? And they're like, yeah. And like, I typed in, I'm like, I'm just going to bet, will there be a run next inning? Yes. And I did it the rest of the game for 5-1. Okay. 76ers and Pelicans. Wait a minute here. That's not the game. Yeah, we're back on the Summer League. It's the Dallas Wings, Mindy. They're going up against the New York Liberty on the road here in a matinee. The Liberty is favored by 7.5, and the total here has moved lower here, I believe, on some steam here, 171.
Yeah, I think these two clubs here are playing probably their best ball, kind of right before the break, I'd say. But yeah, the Liberty tends to let teams just kind of hang around with them. They'll go out to like 20-point leads and suddenly they let teams just go ahead and storm back. So for me, I like the Wings today here. They're averaging 84 points a game, 42% shooting. Wings are 5-1 against the spread in the last 6. And the Liberty, like I said, they're 1-4 in their last 5 home games, and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 here overall. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Wings and the points. I like this one.
Mindy, just to let everyone know, we exchanged some texts yesterday talking about what we might like in the WNBA. We did not agree, we did not have any premium picks with our
with the sides
WNBA, but today we do. We're 2 for 2. I like Dallas here against the Liberty, of course. I've got it
yesterday because I liked the Dream, and then I liked the Sun, and Dream covered, Sun did not.
Yeah, right. We would have split, really, is what it was, because if
you were opposite.
Yeah, I was opposite on both. But so in this one though, I like the Wings to get it done here against the Liberty. 7.5 looks pretty high for a Dallas team. Yeah, playing pretty good. Look, New York has pretty strong front court defense, certainly, that could make it tough for Howard, for Sabali, I think, here in this one. But Dallas, we talk about tempo, but they're still a good defensive team. maybe making it a little bit difficult. This number looks a little bit high as far as the total for me is concerned because I think Agunbowale, Sabali, McCowan, they're all playing great. McCowan might be the best defense to me of one of the best defensive centers in the league. So I think the Wings hang in here. What did Allen say about? He says Wings to cover, and he likes the team totals. I think both team totals, I would guess, under. So, all right. Yeah, we like the dogs. We're on the dogs. That's it. Not much from the chat in the WNBA today. Good thing Alan was here. We're going to be on these dogs, Minnie. Let's take the points today in these matinees in the WNBA.
All right. Let's do it. 2 for 2. I like it.
Okay. We're on it.
What a way to start.
And
big old card.
Ash also liked the Wings.
The Wings.
All right.
Fighting Pegasus says the Wings. Goodness.
Brick wall Cowan. How about the brick wall Cowan? How about that? I like that. Okay. Glad Alan agrees with me. I mean, these are kind of, there are some statistics and metrics that point to McCowan. A lot of it's on the eye test for me a little bit too. Okay, let's get into the major leagues here.
Here we go. Perk up.
Yeah, let me make sure I have it ready to roll here. Because there were, again, a couple pitchers. Mindy, we didn't even find out about like the Red Sox pitching yesterday until quite late. Let's see what we got today. Well, this one we know. And the card starts today, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific, 11:30 Mindy, with the Guardians and the Pirates. Savali and Hill, the Guardians a favorite here, $1.35. 8.5 over at -120.
So, Ramon, I kind of counted it up, and it looks like I have 10 under plays today and 5 over. If I take a look at everything as a whole. Now, those aren't all plays that I'm going to be playing.
Right, that's the level of confidence.
Like. Yeah. So, I mean, for me, I don't have it, that we're going to be having 196 runs here again. So, we'll see how it goes.
I will add this before you get rolling on this game. Right. The Grand Salami yesterday was 142.5 shaded to the over at -120. So that went over by 55 runs.
That is crazy. Just crazy that it went so high. But for me today, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the Guardians. I kind of like the Pirates there. Yesterday, they just haven't been getting it done here. Cleveland now, they've won 8 of 11, 5 of the last 7 here versus this Pittsburgh team. Pittsburgh kind of struggling with some injuries out there. And I just think Savali's been pretty good. 1.69 ERA. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and go with his split on the road. I'm taking him here today over Rich Hill.
It's been a mismatch, right, in this series. Okay, we tried to go full transparency, Mindy. We were on the Pirates yesterday on our premiums that we did together, so not great. But still, the Guardians have dominated this series so far. I've got to try them again for sure in this one. It looks like something is a little bit broken with the Pirates still, if you will. They've lost Hill has gone. They've gone 4-9 in Hill's last 13 starts. The Pirates have lost 12 of their last 14 games. 21 runs for the Guardians, a team that we made fun of quite a bit here as far as maybe they're good. They could use some more hitting, things like that, and maybe they're starting to get to it a little bit. Good to see Nathan here today. Blake is on Cleveland. And Jared says Cleveland ain't stopping.
Not the Bucks no more, huh?
Yep. Fernando, Guardians and under. This is a lot of Cleveland after what everybody's seen the last 2 nights. And if anything, Mindy, I think that price has kind of climbed up about 10 cents. I would think it could go a little bit higher once everyone starts thinking about, the runs that Cleveland has been putting up there a little bit. Feisty.
Feisty. He said she's a low down low and feisty. I like it.
We have Hot Boy here today. How about that? Welcome, Hot
Goodness.
Boy. Shaky there.
Right.
Here's Matt under the Guardians here. Burley under. He's taking under in the game, but it looks like he'll be the lone wolf. I think in this one, and it looks like Burley's going to be on the Bucks, and I don't know if anybody else is. So someone's got to be, so they can celebrate. So, all right. Yeah, that's
Perky Sanderson moved to Perky Sanderson the third.
Well, maybe that's Perky's son, but yeah. Renoir here today. Oh, I think I already saw Renoir come in there.
Oh, so maybe so here, right? We got both folks on here. All right. Perky Sanderson the third, Junior. My dad is taking the Bucks.
Yeah, a lot of it doesn't. This isn't really adding up to me, but Perky's been on his best behavior. So,
are we
being many ever Perkies in here that we got?
Right.
I actually Googled. I Googled Perky and I couldn't find him, so it must be a nickname. All right, Nathan on the Guardians here. And we're on the Guardians. We might agree on every game here. I don't know, Mindy.
I don't know.
Hey, we'll take if we can get the wins out of it.
Right.
Fernando also says maybe the Pirates here might. I would admit, after a couple of blowouts, nobody's running over necessarily. I will say this too: the total has been steamed to the under here over the last. What does it say on screen? I'm going to update this. I mean, it's 8.5 over 20 right now. The steam rolled in here about not more than 15 minutes ago, pushing this one down to 8.5. So I don't know. That's kind of official in a way. I'm looking across the board here right now at the total in this game market wide, and except for DraftKings, which is still hanging on at 9 under 15, everywhere else seems to have moved to 8.5 over 20. So interesting there, Mindy. You talked about where these games might be headed today, run-wise, and I'm going to support that move. I think this one may be a little bit different for Cleveland. No, Rich Hill, nothing too special. 6.6 ERA in his last 3 starts. He's also gone under in 7 straight, or hasn't gone over in 7 straight starts. Pirates have gone over in 9 of their last 12 at home. Lots of trends pointing to the over here, but let's take the Guardians in this one. Now that steam came in under. How about that?
Sounds good.
Okay. Oops. Throwing my pen around here, checking things out. All right. Let's what do we got? One more from Jared, please. 8.5. Okay. Cleveland will have 4 in the first inning alone. Wow. More runs today. The Dodgers on the road here against the Orioles. The Dodgers are only $1.40 here. Only $1.40. I say it like they're playing some. But here's the thing. Both teams came in kind of hot, Mindy, but it was the Dodgers. I had them as a premium pick.
Yes, you did.
Yesterday. And I don't know. It's just kind of funny. It seems like the Dodgers, we get into the late summer months here, mid late summer, 2 big matchups to get kind of a surprising team, and the Dodgers come out crushing.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, I don't really know which, Urias I'm getting. He has, pitched well in his last outing. Before that, he really kind of, struggled. So, I mean, I think he's the real, turning point or the unknown here's, a little bit in this game. I think Crimber's been doing better, especially in his last couple starts. I think he might be able to limit this Dodgers here lineup a little bit. He's, only scored, I think, or only allowed, like, 2 runs in his last 4 games, I believe, something like that. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the Orioles. I'm still a little bit unsure about Urias and that pitching staff today. I'm going to take the Orioles here on the run line, sitting at about minus 130 for the plus 1.5 runs.
Wow, that's a pretty good price, actually. Interesting. I'm going to join you on that. Actually, I say only $1.40, but Dean Kramer did have that outstanding performance. He's been good in his last 2 starts. So is Urias. If anything, I think we're starting. Maybe we are going to get the right Julio Urias here moving forward. Maybe even today. Could this be now? If you look up and down, other than maybe Arizona and Atlanta, which putting up big time runs not only in their game last night, but 2 teams that are producing a lot of overs. These teams are cranking out overs big time. Baltimore's gone over in 14 of their last 23 with 3 pushes. The Dodgers have gone over in 11 of their last 16. But I don't know, with Urias, with Kramer, big time units producer for gamblers. He's a guy that you wanted.
No money burner.
Right, even with his 4 ERA over 4.5, he's been somebody that you can hang your money on this season. So let's take a shot here with Kramer. Let's go 4 for 4 so far. I'll take the Orioles on that run line. They've still won 8 of 10. Dodgers have won 9 of 11, and yeah, I think they can keep it close here today. Let's see what lot of opinion here in this game. Solo says Dodgers get the sweep. Dodgers for Blake. Fernando, Dodgers and under. It's going to be a lot of Dodgers here. Thank you, Thomas. Thomas is feeling himself in the chat today. He's full of enthusiasm. G-Man here today. Good to see a hot boy over in this game. I'm kind of feeling like Mindy. I want to play some unders yet. Maybe these totals will go up. It's all they're day games, so we don't have a lot of time. But every bullpen it might be taxed here, Solo. The way it's going, right?
Right.
Bionics on the Orioles with us. Dre says go over. Perky says the Orioles have a weak bullpen. They're in the top, I don't know, top 10 maybe, but no higher than that, I would think. Kramer's better at home. PZ, Grove. I think Grove has gotten kind of I like Grove.
I don't like Grove at all.
Yeah, well, they did the job. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. G-Man on the Orioles in this one. Kevin Graham here today. Yeah, maybe even tougher with Urias. I don't know, right? Yeah, CTG, I don't know. Look, Urias he's been an underachiever so far, but like I said, I think he's kind of getting it together. And we know the Dodgers are not a money-making team despite their record. The thing with Urias, they're 8-5 with Urias. That's about a zero. Considering how usually they're favored 8-5, that's not probably going to be 9-5 or better.
Right.
Usually look at 8-5, laying $1.40, $1.50. You do the math. It's going to be flatline a little bit. Doubles is here. Hey, all right, on Baltimore. Jacoby Flewelling is with us today on the over. And that's good, Mindy. We're 4 for 4. Let's move on with the Reds. This is one, I think, where we have a little bit of Has the pitching come out yet? No. Zach Littell
No.
maybe for the Rays. I imagine kind of a bullpen game. There it is. I see it now. The line has come up. It's the Rangers who are favored at $1.15, 9/25, and climbing a little bit here. I think we might see this one even creep up a little higher once everybody wakes up and realizes there were 200 runs scored yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, the Rays have just seen their lead become nothing now. I think they were up like 12 games, and suddenly it's really kind of non-existent here. I know they've had some pitching woes, and I think that's kind of been the deal. And then they're putting, a guy like Latrell here on the mound, 5.51 ERA. Hasn't pitched on the road yet here to a dangerous Rangers team. I'm going to go ahead and take the Rangers today. I kind of feel like I'll still go ahead and I'm going to take them on the run line. I know it's sitting at about minus 160 there for the Rangers, but I feel a little bit more comfortable with that, only because it might be one of those things like it's another, it might be another shootout here. Rays average 5.19 runs a game, Rangers 6.24. Rangers bullpen's elevated a little bit. I don't want them to give up the, too much of a lead. I still want to get a win at the end of the game. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Rangers here on the run line.
All right, Mindy, plus a run and a half. I think you're going to find the price is going to be a little bit higher, Mindy. This line movement to the Rangers.
It might have, huh?
Now, so you're going to be probably laying $2 here on this run line. I don't know.
All right. Well, then if it's that case, I still am going to take them here on the money line. If not,
you are okay. I don't want to. Hey, look, I'm not here to sway your opinion.
Yeah, no. I have them in both places, right? Okay. I felt a little bit better with the run because of that bullpen, but I'm still comfortable enough with them to win this game, just based off of Gray. He can go quite a few innings. He might get you to like sixth inning or so. So I like him here.
Oh yeah, I mean you could do worse than John Gray. I mean everyone's making fun of Gray a little bit, even Sonny too. All the Grays except Josiah. But I mean, look, it's still the Rays could. No, I was going to say maybe the Rays could move back to a favorite, and that could change things a little bit. I don't think it's going to lop off 40 cents on the run line. And like I said, I mean, if you look at the standard run line now, the book's coming out, they do have it the other way, of course, as the standard line. Of course, we know you could play the alternate run line.
Yeah, I might have got it before they had. Well, no, I probably would have got it when they had pitchers in there. So yeah, I had the Rays at minus 116 when I made my
right. I mean, that's the thing about the run line. Both pitchers have got to be, active, and when you make that bet, it's got to be those pitchers. So the fact that it has come out that Zach Littell, it's a bullpen game, I would think, here with Littell in there. So here's the thing. I was going to if Mindy stays with this run line, I'm going to give out my total. But if Mindy's going to go money line, I'm on the Rangers, of course. They got it done yesterday. I had them as a premium winner. Tampa's. You talked all about Tampa's issues right now. They're collapsing. Fortunately, they're still 22
down. Yeah.
Fortunately, they're still 22 games over 500. So, we've reached that point. We're almost to 100 games with a lot of these teams. That's a milestone point in the season. We're 5 for 5. No matter what the chat says, I haven't even gone to the chat yet, but we're going to be on Texas here after what we're seeing. Texas has won 5 straight now. They're 14 games over 500 at home. Here's Solo going to take the Rays. Fernando, Rangers and under. Luis, Rays and under. Thomas is on the Rangers. Hot boy passes. Rangers for Burley. Perky's on the Rangers. Jacoby's on the Rangers here in this one. Bionic is on the Rangers. He's not mad at us. They're not mad at us. I don't know Bionic's gender, actually. Hey, Michelle Foster's here. Says Rangers. The price just keeps going higher. Dre's on the Rangers. And, so will they collapse all the way? Look, I think they're going to make the playoffs still. But it is a race. funny, I mentioned that stat. The American League scored only 8 runs yesterday of those 196 runs, the lowest of all the divisions. And all right, we're gonna just pick every game together to make up for the last couple days when I know Mindy's been like, "Why can't we get any picks?" We have like
Now we
4.
got tons.
Yeah, here we
Already have
go.
5.
Astros. Hey, look out, Mindy! But the Rockies just keep doing it here to the poor Astros. In this one with Austin Gomber, the best pitcher you don't want to, or wait, the worst pitcher
The worst, best moneymaker out
worst
there.
pitcher that you want to bet on with his 6 ERA. He wins basically more than a third of a unit every time he steps out on the mound. And Brandon Belak's been the opposite. He's costing you a third of a unit every time he goes out there, yet his ERA is 2.5 points lower, and he's on the great Houston Astros. So very funny. I posted a Steam play last night about, look, I know you can't hang out in the Discord. You can put your notifications on. I put Steam Move in there yesterday, Colorado plus $1.84. It was about 5 minutes before game time. Got to be perfectly honest, but sometimes that's when the steam rolls in,
right?
And that one cashed pretty well there yesterday in that game. So, what do you got here with this one?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting, right? Because this is the one that you talked about, Gomber. I'm not always a believer, but he's the one that keeps getting it done. He showed us up last time, or showed me up anyway. Got the win there, and like you said, Belak, he's been pitching well. 3.79 ERA only allows his opponents to a 2.89 slugging percentage, so doesn't get hit hard here, especially on the road. So I feel like the Astros are a team here that kind of might come off to a strong start, but I think this one goes under today. I have it coming in at about 10.5 runs, sitting at 12. Not my favorite play, but that's kind of how I'm going to go. I have to hope that Gomber settles down and gets back to business here today.
Yeah, in fact, I'll update the total. And I don't think it's going to be totally depressing for you, or I don't say depressing. It's just a sports bet we're making. But you always tease me when I.
I'm like, come on, Ramon, don't change it.
Well, it is
midway.
It is, but it's still 12. But I think that's more of an indicator of look where the line is moving, because the send out was actually like 13, but most of the books open this one closer, of course, to 12.5. A lot of 12s out there open as well. So right now it's sitting at about pretty much 12 flat. We're agreeing on every game at this point, Mindy. Look, there were 197 runs. We've already talked. We beat this into the ground. You'd think the Colorado-Houston game would have had 30 runs, but no, it went under, right? Well, no, yeah, it went under. It went under yesterday, big time. I say big time. It went under considerably, considering it's Colorado. So the Rockies have gone under in 5 of Gomber's last 6 starts. They've also gone under in 6 of their last 7 games. Belak's gone under in 8 of his last 10 starts. Houston's been going over a little bit of late, but in general, you look at these two teams, they're definitely two teams that are producing unders. Mindy and I are going I'm not saying on purpose we're going on every game, but so far we are. Let's go under in this one and see what the chat has to say in this one. Gomber's cash money. I don't know if Solo meant to say, but I mean, yeah, that hombre is cash, but it's hombre kind of rhymes with Gomber a little bit.
Hombre,
Thank you for your pronouns, Ionic. And Fernando on the under here. Hot boy said, okay, I will.
Write it down.
I already did, because I've got a big arrow with Mindy and Ramon. Jacoby says under. Thomas says this game under. Although I don't know. Thomas may be suggesting team total under, but I think he's suggesting full game under. Hey, Mindy, welcome to Vador Sport.
Vador.
I don't think we've had the pleasure of having Vador Sport with us. They're on Houston here and some other games, so appreciate that. Thank you, Vador, for sharing all those picks. Dre's on the under. Good stat there, CTG. You see Gomber, 3.38 in his last 4 starts. Won them all, Mindy.
Yeah, crazy.
And you talk about that. I talk about that.
Did not believe it last time, but I believe it now.
In his 15 starts this season with that 6.19.
I would never have guessed he was, ahead of the game. Financially, that is.
What's that, Mindy?
I said I wouldn't have guessed that Gomber was ahead of the game financially on the side of the bettors.
So that's just it. 11-4. Yes, of course, a lot of they're underdogs a lot of times, right? But still, 11. He could be probably 7-8 and still be profitable,
right?
But he's 11-4 in his 15 starts. Plenty of run support, and he's getting better. So, and don't forget this, right? Houston against lefties, not the best, right? Here's Astros run line. What is Peasy saying on this one? Market move the total up to 12. Yes, it was 7. Okay, it was 7. So, yeah, I'm often critiqued for my incessant talking about market moves, but I think everyone can see that I just like talking about it. I mean, of course,
tool, though, right? I mean, it's a tool, like anything else. It's for us to do our, due diligence on things.
Yeah. Well, and if anything, maybe I'm more market reliant than any of the talking heads on any of these shows, but that's just what I like. That's what's fun to me about it, because I don't know. I think if you just put out the stats, here's the thing. A lot of times, Mindy, people talk about all the stats and all that. The stats are always going to give you the favorite, right? So the job of the handicapper is determine the market price, fair or not fair, when to take the dog. And I think a lot of people just forget about that sometimes and say, look at how much better this team is than the other, take the favorite. But you have to find the right spots to grab these dogs. I'm sitting there saying a philosophy that, quite frankly, I haven't followed to the letter this season. All right, Mindy, every game. Can we be on the next one together? This one might be a little tougher, starting to get into the big odds games here. Red Sox with Bayo, a 210 favorite, 8.5 over 15.
Well, this is another one where I'm just going to go ahead and hit the total over. I still feel like we have, they made it over yesterday, I believe, with 10 runs, right? But Boston, it's one of those that, I don't know if I want to mess with the run line records again here. But yeah, I mean, Boston has, they're 28-19 on the run line, so they probably have a good shot at that. But I'm going to go ahead and go over the total. I just kind of feel like that's a safer bet for me here today, especially with Boston so far having their way with the A's, I believe.
All right, Mindy. 8.5 only with these two teams, of course. Yeah, no, it didn't quite make it. I don't think it made it over yesterday, but I do like it over.
I was thinking it did, but
yeah, I'm trying to see here. Maybe we can get it. I'm sure our chat will type it in before we even do.
Maybe I was thinking of a different game when I was saying that.
It was 3-0 because the Boston Red Sox fell flat on their face.
That's right. It was that, wasn't it?
Well, okay. Boston ended up pitching Joe Jocks yesterday, and he wasn't bad, but they didn't score any runs.
Yeah, that's my fault, guys. I was thinking was it the Padres? Who was 9-1? Someone was 9-1 yesterday. That was what I was thinking.
But hey, you know what? I'm gonna take the over with you. I really am. I promise you, I am. in this one. I just want to mention right now on the game we just previewed a few moments ago, the total is on the move right now in that Tampa Bay, Texas game. I'm showing when we previewed it, Mindy, it was 9. But man, if you like the over in that one, you might want to come on back in just a second or leave the volume on. But that game's moving a little bit higher right now. Tampa Bay and Texas, I'm starting to see some 9.5s out there. So maybe the runs are coming today. Here in this one, Mindy, I want to go over big time. I want to go over in this one. It was going to be a premium for me no matter what. If you're on it, I'm on it. We're agreeing on every game so far. Waldachuk, look out. 12 starts this season. He's got a 6.66 ERA.
The devil ERA.
A's have gone over in 8 of their last 10 home games. Bayo has been an under pitcher this season, and I've been a big backer of his, and I don't know. I was kind of worried about what Boston did there yesterday. I know Waldachuk sucks, but if Boston's going to be in a funk yesterday, they might be funky today too. Watch out, Boston. They might lose to the A's again. Let's see what there it is, 3-0. Yeah, they knew. Okay, here we go. Is Fernando? All right, I got it. Fernando on the Red Sox and the over. Brett's loving the over in this one. Yeah, this was the game that 3 runs out of all that. Right? Out of all those games, all those runs, Jacoby's going over. Solo likes the Bayo prop. Jay will stick with the under here. And maybe Hot Boy is suggesting the under in this game, but I want to go. I'm going over. Miguel today. Good to have Miguel here. Red Sox run the. Oh, pardon me. Pizza for breakfast over here, Mindy.
No breakfast for me yet. I'm waiting. Wait until we get done.
Bionic Sox run line. And Rafael Devers out of the game game yesterday. So here, still dealing with a massive favorite. I mean, we might talk about getting runs. I will say this for the Red Sox. I believe Trevor Story is about to make his return. I don't think it's today, but maybe by the way, I should have paid more attention to the story. But thank you. I'll be here all week.
Yeah.
Anyways, he is scheduled to return soon. Maybe someone heard of that. Miguel says, give me the Red Sox. We went over that one. Okay. Here's Verley, Red Sox run line. And Renoir says we're going to go over. And JPZ questioning that Boston. Yeah, no, yesterday wasn't pretty. But look, we're talking about Waldachuk. Still, the numbers aren't great this season. So he did face Boston in relief earlier this year and gave up a run. But I think it was just an inning or two. Dre's on the Boston money line. Renoir says, I'm pretty sure this is Red Sox and over. I don't think he's talking about the Reds game yet.
Right.
Yeah. Thomas Lewis says, give me the team total. Oh, I'm off that. He's behind us. Thomas is behind us. Solo on the A's money line. Thomas Lewis on the A's. There's definitely some A's support here. Yeah. And Peasy giving us that injury update. Thank you, Peasy. Great job. Hot Boy says Red Sox under and first 5. Hot Boy, have you been watching the show? Because you certainly know what you're doing for a first timer. And I know we're just picking sports picks, so anybody can do it. Look, I'm on here with professional handicapper Mindy Hahn. All right. Every game so far, Mindy, we're going to have a fun day.
That's right. 7 consensus plays so far.
Will we be eating lobster or ramen at the end of this one? Brewers and Phillies. Colin Ray and Christopher Sanchez. Sanchez here down. It's $1.60. $1.60. Total 9 over 15.
So it's moved to $1.60. Is that what you said, Ramon?
Yeah, I saw as high as maybe $1.80, but and I know but Brewers are still okay. Sanchez isn't necessarily a proven commodity, despite his decent numbers so far. What do you got?
Yeah, well, I mean, I got that Colin Ray holds this Phillies team to a 3.44 slugging percentage. ERAs are very similar with these two, with their splits 4.08 for Ray, 4.43 for Sanchez. Neither one of these guys are, big strikeout machines or anything like that, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the Brewers. I'm taking Fernando's team here. I'm going to take them on the run line today. Taking the Brewers plus 1.5 runs, minus 132. I think I got a pretty even pitching matchup here. And I got someone that doesn't allow the team to hit them very hard. I mean, Christopher Sanchez has a 8.69 slugging percentage versus the Brewers. So gives up the doubles, the triples, the home runs. I'm going to go ahead and go here with the Brew Crew on the run line.
All right, Mindy says take the Brewers in this one on the run line plus a run and a half at, well, let's see, minus $1.40, maybe $1.40 or so. I tell you, the Sharps are certainly, I would think the Sharps are going to be, they've already moved on it. I said $1.80. I see now, looking at the line tracker, that maybe $1.90 could have been offered early on. I don't know, if that was a send out or not, but nonetheless, this is a much cheaper price on the Phillies at this point. So Mindy taking the Brewers in this one. Let me go to the chat because I'm not gonna take the Brewers. I don't think.
We're gonna break.
Maybe you're on the run line, so that's okay. But let's see. Oh, did we miss the Marlins? I'm sorry. I will get back to that one. Thank you, Renoir, for paying attention there. Definitely missed that one. I don't know if I just skipped over it here. I'll look in just a second. Let's finish this. Want to say hello to Politican. I missed your pick on the last one, but hello to you. All right, here comes Fernando. I think is going over in this one. And here's the thing about these. Brewers have gone under in 5 straight. Fernando maybe on the Brewers. Jacoby says go under 9. Dre's on the over. Thomas says give me the Phillies. Hot Boy says Brewers and clearly on the over. And Bionic says give me the Phillies here. And they've won 26 of their last 30 games. Solo Phillies on the money line. It still feels like a high price. Considering these teams have virtually identical records. And I'm always into who's profitable, right? Even though Sanchez has an ERA 1.5 points lower. Granted, only 6 starts so far, but Sanchez is down a little bit in his units, while Colin Ray is up. It gives you a quarter unit every start of profit. Frankie Diamond here today. Want to say hello to Frankie. It's on the Brewers money line here in this one. All right. I'm going to end up here, Mindy, on the under in this one. Just mostly because these teams go under quite a bit. Sanchez under in 5 of his 6 starts so far.
I like the under. Maybe I should just change my pick, and then we would have another consensus.
No, I don't want to say it because actually I like the look. Wish it was 9.5. I probably I was maybe thinking premium at 9.5. I don't know if it's going to get. I don't know if it's going to get there. Like I said, maybe everyone's going to come out firing today on the over. But you do have Milwaukee. They are 15-28 to the under as an underdog this season. All right. Mindy on the run line. I'm on the under. Hey, we can't agree on all of them. Burley's on the Phillies.
Well, we could. Just not quite.
Okay, let's get that other game in. Sorry about that. Yeah. I had it listed as time slot yesterday, and I didn't even put the pictures in. Shame on me here. We know for the Marlins it's Sandy, and Sandy's starting to pitch like Sandy. Tired. I think I've been saying that for a few starts now, but still, interestingly, the Cardinals here are actually the slight favorite in this game now, maybe because yesterday, the Marlins were flat. We liked the Marlins yesterday, Mindy. To be honest with everybody, we liked them, and the Cardinals got it done.
Couple days.
It's the Cardinals are $1.15. Just want to mention, by the way, I don't think. Look, we could talk about Sandy, but I think more so the story here is Dakota Hudson with his first start of the season. Yeah, had a couple of appearances so far, but I'd say that the fact that Hudson may be getting the start here, he's listed as a starter, so I think that's a pretty big deal. Look, the Cardinals got a long way to go. I don't know if they're ever going to get back in this thing. If they're going to do it, they're in the right division to do it. But good to have a pitcher like Dakota Hudson back if he's anything like Dakota Hudson.
Right. Dakota Hudson, if you look at his splits, I know it's been this really small sample size of 6 innings, but it was a .83 whip and a 0 ERA, 6 Ks, 0 walks, 0 home runs. I don't know. It's kind of tough with a guy with a small sample size, but when I see that 1.8 ERA here overall, I really like it, especially with a guy that I know with Sandy that's been struggling. And then I know that the Marlins suddenly are not really hitting against this Cardinals team. That gives me a little bit of pause with the Marlins. So I think I'm going to go ahead and be on the Cardinals here to go ahead and close this one out here today. Taking the Cardinals -130. I don't think that's too bad here today.
Yeah, no. In fact, Minnie, that price on the screen is pretty close to being right. Now, it may even move a little further, $1.15. So,
okay.
All those times I moved the line on Mindy.
Yeah, I still had it sitting at -130. So
here she's getting the big discount. Look, I'm not worried about Dakota Hudson sample size this year. I'm worried about Dakota Hudson, making a strong performance here, getting back. Hey, Cardinals have won 7 of their last 9. I'm not counting them out in this division. Certainly not, in this division. 95 games are still, 67 games left. There's plenty of time for a team like St. Louis in a division like this. So, at 8.5, I'll still go under. I don't know if I should just, tear up the printout from today and say, hey, printout, didn't you watch the games yesterday? But that's the way you're supposed to approach it, right? Short term, put it out of your mind here. These teams produce some overs, no doubt about it. Miami's gone over in 8 of their last 13. Cardinals have gone over in 8 of their last 12, and Sandy's gone over in 9 of his last 13 starts. But I'm going to go under in this one at 8.5. I've got Sandy and I've got Dakota Hudson. Let's see what the chat's up to in this one. All right, here, maybe this is Luis on the Marlins. I think Fernando's going over. Did I miss some here? No. Solo said it's Sandy. Take the Marlins. Brett says likes Sandy to go under 5.5. We talk about Miami and how they develop all their pitching. Remember that Sandy was actually a Cardinal. Remember, he was traded for Marcell Ozuna.
Okay.
Fernando says he's got this one sneaking over. Thomas says, give me the first 5 over in this one. Jay Boone on the Marlins. Dre's on the Marlins. Doubles filling in for Scott. Scotch isn't here, huh? Did I miss it? I missed Scotch's.
Might be working.
Bionic on the cards with Mindy.
No, we're getting like some folks we haven't seen in a while here today.
Great.
Fonzie, Kong's Clips. I tell you guys are coming back from the way back.
Great. Am I there yet? Let me see. Lex Steele. Hello. Kong's Clips. Okay, I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
Great.
Some guys we haven't seen since what? College basketball or football. It's been a while.
Brett lamenting, maybe not lamenting, but yeah, Cardinals could use some of that pitching now. But they got Dakota Hudson. We know Dakota Hudson can be pretty good if he's on his game. So Mindy's on the cards, and I'm on the under here. And yeah, Sandy. Oh, Arnaz is here too. Says, give me the Cardinals in this one. Yeah, Sandy's giving up 0.35 units per start. So, all right, Mindy, the Yankees and the Angels here. Carlos Rodon's made a couple of starts. Hasn't been too swift so far, but they acquired him for a reason. Just had a rough injury to start the season. So going up against Silseth here. This one's out officially. $1.35, 8.5. Oh, 8.5 over 15. That's a full run up pretty much from the. I don't know if that was an opener at 8 over 15. I'll look into it, but go ahead with the preview.
Yeah, well, it's one of those that Rodon has just not been good, making his way back, a 7.2 ERA on the road. And then Silthus, he hasn't been, great either, 5.40 ERA. He's allowed, this can't be right, Ramon? 8.6 runs per 9 innings. Short sample size, though, only 8.3 innings. So, again, you got guys that put folks out there on the base paths. But I just think it's been Rodon hasn't really looked comfortable. I'm not sure that Yankees offense is, waking up. Perhaps they are. But we're going to go ahead and go with the Angels here today on the run line.
All right, Mindy, taking those Angels today and taking plus a run and a half against the Yankees in this one. Angels have won 3 of 4 right now following the win yesterday, Mindy.
Yep.
Good job by the Angels. That was one of the I don't say it was it's always a sweat, but felt like the Angels were in command there. Yankees in a slump and bottom of the standings a little bit here, if you will. They've lost 8 of their last 10 games. So things are not going well for the Yankees all of a sudden. They've got to be, man, and $1 for, who wants to lay them as a favorite here? What's the run line price if I'm going to?
Minus 140.
Okay. Give me I'm going to take this one to sneak over. I saw that 8 over. That's why I was wondering about it because I really liked, I like the over. I don't know if I was going to go. 8 was maybe a premium, 8.5's not. I'm going to go over though. In this one, Angels have gone over in 7 of their last 10. Yankees have definitely been going under because of that offense struggling still. And we've got Leroy Hornage here today as well. Nice to see it. He's got the over here. Fernando's got the Angels and the over. All right. And here, let's see. Bionic on the over. Luis on the Yankees. Otani RBI. Oh man, he's just great, isn't he? God. Every day though, you just wonder what's going to happen.
Right.
Mindy, I want to say hello and welcome to Emmanuel Mbatu joining us
Hello.
today, and he's like the
Like
Yankees.
those Yankees today.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Hot Boy, for joining us, and a great job today. It was great to have you. I'll say for the first time because we'd recognize that name if we saw it before. I don't
That's
know
right.
if you, like I said, I was wondering if you'd been here, seen the show, whatever. You knew exactly what you were doing. So great job. All right, Mindy's on the Angels run line. I'll take the over with Yankees and the Angels today. All right, Mindy, just when I'm ready to count them out and criticize them and look at the score, right?
Right.
We talked about the
That's
loss,
my 9-1 game, they said.
right? And here, but again, what have I talked about with right when the Padres
Feast or
win,
famine?
they crush, right? When the Padres win, they crush. When they lose, it's by just a run or two. In other words, they're not clutch. They don't have the clutch gene. Oh, it's all fine and dandy.
No
Polaroid
clue.
pictures in the dugout, hopping around the bases with goofy home run trots. Soto taking 30 seconds to round the bases. I mean, these guys think that they're the greatest thing to ever happen to baseball when they win a game. But anyways, you got your guy here, Yu Darvish on the mound, and the Blue Jays are. Let's see if they're still favored. Yeah, in fact, maybe it's going up to $1.20. So for Barrios, $1.29 under 25.
Yeah, I love you, Darvish, but you, Darvish, hasn't been coming through for me, especially on the road. On the road, his ERA is elevated, 5.52 ERA, allows a 561 slugging percentage versus this Blue Jays team. Also puts on 3.3 base runners per 9 innings there on the road. So I don't think this sets up as a nice outing here today for the Padres. I'm looking for Barrios and the Blue Jays here to bounce back. 2.83 for Barrios here at home, and only a 371 slugging. Also like the Blue Jays bullpen here as well. 33 saves here thus far on the season. I'm going to go ahead and take the Blue Jays here. What I was like, do they have a little bit of plus money? No, they're sitting at what, minus?
Yeah,
there we go.
Right. It's moving to the Blue Jays. Interestingly enough, look, Barrios has been pretty good. We know Toronto's hot. They've won 8 of 10. Barrios, an ERA under 3 in his last 4 starts. I don't. That scares me to hear you talk about you, Darvish, not liking, but 4.24 ERA in his last 3 starts. He's not. Padres are 7-9 with Darvish. You Darvish trivia time, Mindy. You're a big Darvish fan, but we know that you Darvish came. That he's an import from Japan. Has played in the league now for over 10 years, right? But you Darvish's full heritage. He's Japanese, but do you know his father's national origin?
No.
He's Iranian.
Oh, really? Okay.
Darvish is an Iranian Japanese descent.
Gotcha.
Hence the last name Darvish.
Okay.
So, anyways, there we go.
Good to know.
I was trying to make it so I didn't have to make a pick. I was hoping everybody'd forget because I'm gonna take the under in this one. You could see the total moving down there. Definitely, it was definitely 9. Now it's 9, heavily juiced. And look, I mean, again, massive runs yesterday, but the Blue Jays have gone under in 8 of 12, 8 of Barrios' last 12 starts. They've gone under in 11 of their last 16 games. Padres have been an over of late, but for the season, they've been, pretty big under so far. So they definitely pounded it yesterday, and they've been going over. But as an underdog, the Padres are 7-16 to the under. So I'm going to go under in this one. And Mindy is on the Jays. And I'll just say, I mean, Every game, Padres. Every game. Here's my last, Padre rant of the day. Well, let me get to the comments here, but the problem for the Padres, the math doesn't work out. There's too many good teams in the National League ahead of them. I mean, they, just playing 600 ball is probably not going to do it. Honestly. So, okay, what do we got here? All right. Anybody on this game at all? I'm looking at see. Oh, what interesting. Well, I just want to let's see.
Emmanuel likes first five for Padres, right? You got Solo with
thank you,
Padres. We got Brett B who likes you to go over 5.5 Ks.
Oh, I'm not pitching.
You? Why you? What else we got? Jacoby likes the Blue Jays. Frankie Diamond likes San Diego. So I think there's quite a bit of folks out here. CTG also likes the Blue Jays there, it looks like. Fernando. There's a lot. There's a lot, Ramon.
Thank you. I do see it now. I mean, I caught up to you guys and Mindy read them off, and I'm just going to punch them up there. Yeah, so there you go.
But Caleb has a question for you again.
Who does, Mindy?
Caleb, if you get down there towards the bottom. He says, what does it mean when you put up the graphic, the 9 under 25? So he knows what the 9 means.
Yeah, thank you, Caleb. And I don't mean to be, and I don't do it. Look, I know a lot of people I know I'm doing it shorthanded a little bit there, but a lot of people will put the 9, under minus 125. Maybe I'm just saving myself some time. Maybe I'm, want to think I'm the smartest guy in the whatever. But okay, so you see that 9 under 25. So we know that money lines, how they work. Caleb, I think you know a little bit. Sounds like you're learning. So consider the money line at the total at 9. Under is minus 125. That's what it's favored. So maybe on the next one we'll explain it too and kind of compare it. But
that means it's getting close to going. You have to pay for that 9. It's getting close to going to 8.5.
Yeah, for sure. And you might even find books out there that are at 8.5 over minus 120 or 125.
So you have to get that premium 9. You got to pay a little bit more.
Yep. And I try to keep it, sometimes I'll pop up at my 30, but only usually I do whatever the majority of the books are at. So thank you for that question. And I'll show you another example here. I know you understand exactly, but I'll just kind of compare. Maybe we can find another one that's over. Usually you're going to have a 20-cent split. A dime line is what they call that, 10 cents on each side. So a 20-cent split. So the over in this game will be plus 105. All right. Yeah, Thomas, good. 110 is the norm. So, all right. All right, Mindy. Yep, we've dried up here on our picks, but that's okay. We've already got a ton of action and still more games to come here with the Giants and the Reds. They completed the game yesterday. They played another full game. They're going to have another one here today. Stripling on the road. This one's a pick 'em now, Mindy. The total 10.5 under minus 115. So even though it's Cincinnati, even though the runs have been out of control, the total on this one is no doubt moving slightly to the under.
Yeah, I mean, I think the under is probably where I want to lead in this one as well. But for me, my pick is going to be on the Reds team. I'm going to take them on the run line. They're sitting at about minus 150, 160. Only because Ashcraft has had a little bit of problems pitching here at home. His split at home is just not as good as what his overall outings are on the road. But Stripling here, he has a 4.62 ERA. Also allows a couple guys on base per the walk. And I feel like these bullpens have kind of evened out here a little bit. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and take the Reds here on the run line, only because Ashcraft, I feel like I haven't been able to depend on him as much as I did early on in the season. So I think it's one of those that I might be depending a little bit more on a bullpen today. So taking the Reds over the whole game, getting an extra run.
Okay. Yeah. Heavy price. Not sure I'll be with you on that one. Let's see. What is it? What'd you say? What minus?
I have it sitting at
16?
minus, so 155, but I don't know if it's
Okay.
moved
Fair
around a
enough.
little bit or not.
Yeah. Somewhere around there for sure to get that extra run and a half with the Reds in this one. I tried to get cute, took an under premium yesterday. You said take the Giants. You told me to take the Giants yesterday. So let's see here. I'm going to go to the chat in this one and see what they have to say here because might have to. There we go. Fernando's on the Reds, and he's also on the under in this one. And Lex is a little behind us there, but Solo's on the Giants. Takia's on the Reds. Not a lot of opinion, it looks like. Oh, here they come. Jacoby says Reds money line all day. Is that right? Emmanuel on the Giants. Bionic on the Giants. And I really like the under in this game. You were suggesting that kind of as well.
Yes, I was suggesting that this is one of those that my modeling leans to the under.
Yeah, like I said, it is.
I mean, it's close. It's like
well, maybe it's best.
10.3 to a 10.5, right? Like it's right in there.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it is a good idea to just give it out as a free play on the show with everything that happened yesterday. Look, still, you got San Francisco's gone under in 12 of their last 16 games, and the Reds have gone under in 4 of their last 5. So let me try an under here in this one. Look, Ashcraft goes over. No doubt about it. Both these guys have a 6 ERA. Mindy mentioned it. Stripling has been better of late. Ashcraft has really been good over his last few games. But Kevin Graham, hello. Nice to see you. And appreciate that. Okay. Mindy on the Reds here, plus a run and a half. I'll take the under in this one. The White Sox and Tuki Toussaint. I just love to say that. He's going up against Justin Verlander. The Mets here, a $2 favorite. The total has gone up. So, hey, okay. So here we can maybe do just real quick a little bit of so 8.5 over 15 was the earlier line. So over would have been minus $1.15 and under would have been minus $1.05. But I'm showing this line sneaking up just a little bit, Mindy. In fact, now I'm showing this line is at 9 and the under is favored. So kind of what Mindy was saying, that when you see the total start to go up from 8.5 over minus 115 or minus 120, and now it's up to 9, but under is slightly favored here at minus $1.15. So hope that continues to expand how those how that juice works. Because I don't know, man, you go up there and it's usually 15, 20 cents, but nowadays, back in the day, it really never. It was always minus 110. Nobody wasn't all this fine tuning. Everybody. Yeah. Nicking the market here and there to get advantage, but nowadays, I'd say only 25% of the games are like a flat 9 or whatever, usually juiced one way or the other.
That is true. But you still, for me, I mean, as you know, you have the better odds yet still on these totals. You don't have to pay these big numbers that are out here, like the Mets sitting at minus 205, that sort of thing. This one's
well, I will say this: because I'm such a degenerate, if there's a game where I don't have a pick, a recommendation, a free pick, and I just want to put a ticket in pocket, and I'm not even sure I like the game, I kind of like the over, but so I'm one of those guys. I'll do like in this game, say I like total it over, and I'll go. Oh, I'll just take it at 7.5 over 200.
Right, something like that. Make it interesting. Yeah, but for me, this one's tough, right? I mean, I kind of like, my brain wants to say take the Mets on the run line, but my numbers say go ahead and take the White Sox on the run line. And that's kind of because I think my pause is with Tuki Toussaint, right? He's been a little bit inconsistent. He's had control issues. He puts up the walks, and we know that Verlander's been really, really good. But the White Sox are the ones that are outscoring this Mets team right now. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and just go to the total here on this one. I like the under today. I think Toussaint goes ahead and has a decent outing. I think Verlander, he pitches Verlander like here today, 2.57 ERA here at home. So going under the total.
All right, Mindy says go under that 9.
Yeah, I liked it under 8.5. So 9, yay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was definitely, certainly some 8.5s out there. So we just talked about the juiced up 8.5, and now Mindy can get this total under. I think I'm kind of looking at the move. Look what happened. This was another one of those crazy games yesterday with the and the Mets. The Mets, of all teams, barely held on against the White Sox. Now, look, I mean, the Mets haven't been good. They're only, 4 or 5 games ahead of the not the standings. I mean, one's American, one national. I'm just saying the Mets are only 5 games better than the White Sox this season. That, probably shouldn't be the case. So, but the fact that the Mets can't seem to put anybody away, the White Sox are just awful. What's the run line? I'll take them. Give me the White Sox.
Minus 109 is what I had.
I'm not going to lay 205. The Mets, they'll probably win. They can only win by 1. They can't win by more than 1. They never have. They just, that's the way the Mets are playing this season. Even yesterday, too close for comfort. White Sox threatened in that last inning. I think they picked up a run to get it closer. So Verlander, definitely sharper of late, 2.74 ERA in his last 4 starts. But the Mets are just 5-8 in Verlander starts this year. That's a big negative on the standings there for Verlander. Toussaint, definitely want to see more. Chicago's lost 9 of their last 13. I'll take them on the run line here. And Mindy is on the under. And the fact that the White Sox I don't know, the White Sox scoring runs, that kind of scares me.
Right.
I don't know. Is Kevin going over in this game? I'm not. Might have been talking about the last game. I'm not sure here. But here is Fernando on the Mets and over. Solo says, give me the White Sox money line. Of course. Solo is our house contrarian. Thomas says, respect the steam. I imagine he's talking about the total in this one. Because I don't think we've seen too much sharp movement on the side. Like I said, I mean, if anything, it's kind of slightly coming in on the White Sox, maybe because, you probably just can't trust the Mets as a $2 favorite. Takia will. And then maybe they'll win. Just very uncomfortable laying $2 with this team. Or even a run line, because like I said, I mean, you probably want to might move to the run line. Sox money line here for Kong. Bionic Sox on the run line with me. And Fernando says, if you like the under, then give me the White Sox. Maybe that does right there, yeah.
That makes sense, yep.
And Jay Boone says, give me the Mets money line. Yeah, go with your brain, says. I mean, no problem there. Want to lay that Mets money line? That's fine. I can't do it. All right. Mindy on the under here. I'll take them. I mean, Mindy on the no, I got it right. I'm on the White Sox run line. Mindy's on the under.
Right.
I got it. All right, the game everyone was talking about last night. Fun time
Sometime 16-13. Goodness.
Still here, I get it. Okay, Morton. Look, $2 favorite here. Does everybody forget that Arizona's a pretty? Well, I know Nelson's got a 5 ERA, Mindy, but it is Arizona right now that has a pretty strong record still. I know the Braves are crushing it. We get it. Morton's been winning every time he goes out there right now. So Braves here, 210, the total 10. Flat. This was minus $1.10 both ways.
Well, but this is one that Charlie Morton has a hard time versus this Diamondbacks team. He just lost his last start. He has a 4 career ERA versus this Diamondbacks team. So for me, I am going to go ahead and go with the Diamondbacks here on the run line. I'll take them. They're sitting at about minus 107 for that 1.5. And Ryan Nelson, he's been solid. He's limited his opponents to 1 run in his last 4 outings here. So going to go ahead and take Diamondbacks 1.5 runs.
All right, Mindy says take Arizona here plus a 1.5 at a pick 'em at about a pick 'em or so. So that seems like a pretty fair price, Mindy. Quite frankly, I'm gonna jump on board here with you in this one. Why not? I just don't feel like a $2 favorite here. Sure, I mean Morton might be a good, I don't know, 3.2 ERA, 2.79 his last 5 starts. He won all 5 of them, no doubt about it. But I'll try Arizona here with you on the run line at a pick 'em. Yes, Arizona had the lead a couple times, right? I don't know. That thing was going. That game was going crazy yesterday. The Arizona's lost 8 of their last 11, but still just playing 600 ball on the road. So Atlanta now has lost 3 straight after that loss yesterday. So Arizona got it done. And let's see here. I was trying to. Okay, no problem. I want to take Diamondbacks. Let's see what the chat not too active on this game, it looks like. And here is
got Takia on the Diamondbacks.
Okay.
J Boone on the Braves. Bionic on the Braves. Yeah, I think that might be about it, right?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
All right, we'll take the Diamondbacks on the run line at a pick-em. Yeah, for sure. All right, and CTG first 5 under. So I don't know. I've seen plenty of unders in the chat. Looks like they can have a short memory. And look, maybe they'll go out and score 175 runs a day, and we'll all be laughing again tomorrow. But I'm proud of everyone to keep it in check. There's something to it. I mean, it's hotter. It wasn't a fluke yesterday. The ball was just flying out of some of those. It's funny watching the Reds game, Mindy. The wind shifted in the last inning, and there were two balls that probably would have been home runs earlier in the game, but the wind kind of changed late in the game. Okay, here's the Nationals and the Cubs in this one. Hey, this is one we had yesterday. We had the Cubs, Mindy, as a premium, as a consensus premium between you and I. And here's Kyle Hendricks, who I don't know. He might be over the hill, but I'd take him. I'd take him on my team tonight to pitch. Right now he's $1.60 here, 9.5. Oh, this total's gone up to 9.5 under 20.
All right, you convinced me to take the Cubs again then, Ramon. I'll take Kyle Hendricks here today, 3.57 ERA here overall. Only allows 1 walk, 1 home run per 9 innings. On the flip side here, Williams, he has 2.2 home runs per 9 and 2.6 walks per 9 innings. The Chicago team has to take advantage of playing this Washington team so they don't let those pesky Cardinals catch up. So going with the Cubs here today on the money line.
Okay, and I'll do it with you. I'll try the Cubs one more time. If you want to take the money line, that's fine. I think there is, to me, perceived value at $1.60. I think there's Let me see. Send out was higher, I believe. I saw as high as $1.80 early on. Let's see. Most of these other books, $1.65 opener, $1.75 opener. So I think it's fine, and I know it's a big favorite, but I'll take the Cubs within this one over the Nationals. Nationals have lost 9 of their last 14 games. Hendricks hasn't been as good over the last few games as he's been all season. Funny thing, I love talking about winning with pitchers, and Trevor Williams has been pretty good, actually. He wins you more than a third of a unit every time he takes the mound. Kyle Hendricks wins you about a little more than a quarter of a unit every time he's been out there in his 10 starts so far this season. I'd like to say hello to FKD here today.
There we go.
Yeah. Double. I was thinking this. So I was trying to think of something maybe funny to say. Luis is on the Nationals here in this one, but Mindy. So I'm thinking about Colorado and all the run. Yesterday, Colorado was like, do they send the wrong balls or like? They're like, oh, let's send these really heavy balls to Colorado. That'll be funny, and then we'll put all these rubber balls in the other stadiums.
You're right.
Cincinnati will score 12 runs a game, and the Colorado will have 8 runs a game. Because there's no doubt the Rockies are a total under at home. Let's face it.
Right. We've been talking about it all year.
Takia on the Cubs. We know that in check the we don't have Scotch, so I don't know if anybody's going in accordance to the weather here in this one. I'll call it up unless someone else gets to it first. The fact that this one is already hitting 9.5 certainly indicates that the wind must be blowing out at least 10 miles an hour today, I would think. Doubles is on the over. He's our Chicago correspondent. Burley's on the Cubs money line. And FKD says he's on the FKD. They are on the Cubs. And Fernando on the over as well. Bionic is on the Cubs. And Emmanuel Mbatu is on the Cubs.
Really likes the Cubs.
Oh, okay.
Run line.
All right. Let's see. Is someone up? Oh. Hot tonight, double up. It's hot everywhere. It's only 91 degrees here in Las Vegas right now, although it did reach 111 yesterday. I've never been, I don't know if I mentioned it because I don't think we were on this show too. So it was 117 on Monday. I've never experienced that. Maybe I was Sunday, maybe we did, but whatever. 107. I'd never experienced from being from Southern California. I mean, it gets hot, but I mean, there's kind of even where I lived, it was kind of still cool. It got over 100, and you're like, oh, okay, whatever. But I've never experienced 117 degrees here in Las Vegas, and it's still not quite as hot as it was a couple days ago, but it was 111 yesterday. All right, Mindy, we're on the Cubs here in this one. All right. Next up, we're almost through, and Mindy, it was so funny because you think about all the runs, and I mentioned at the top of the show, if anybody's just joining us, it was the American League Central that led the way with 50 runs scored out of the 197 runs that were scored yesterday. Who'd have thought with teams like the Tigers, the Royals, the Indians, the Guardians.
The
Guardians. Did I just do that?
You did.
But it was the Central Division that came through with all the offense yesterday, and the Tigers and the Royals had a wild one. And so, I did take the total over as a premium play. And, one of the things I said, I give a little, write-up, Vindy, and all of my picks. So, people paying good money. So I give a little write-up. And what I said yesterday for the total over was only 8. And I said, these are 2 of the 4 worst offenses in the league. But, I think what you could see here is actually some decent pitching from Skubal and Lynch, and then the runs come later. And I think for the most part, yeah, maybe those 2 pitchers weren't quite what I said they were, but they weren't awful. But then when the run started coming, there was no stopping.
Well, didn't the Tigers score 3 in like just the
right away for sure. Oh yeah,
it was crazy because they almost got that game, almost took it away from the Royals there. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and go over again. This is the one that I feel pretty comfortable with it hitting that. Rodriguez, we know he's been pretty good, but suddenly, not very sharp there as of late. And then we know with Ryan Yarbrough at home, 7.36 ERA. We know the Royals have that 5.23 ERA coming out of the bullpen there as well. I'm going to go over this total of 8.5. I think this one is should be at least a run higher for me.
Okay, great. I was leaning over. Prefer like yesterday, was a 8, but this one now here, 8.5. In fact, I'm showing it was under was favored minus $1.15, but now it's kind of a pick 'em. So let me update it and show what that looks like on the screen. We're having a little bit of fun today with our lesson here, and yeah, we're not mocking anybody or anything like that. I'm just saying it is. And Tigers might be down to $1.45 or so. That's a really uncomfortable price, Mindy. Look what happened. Look, the Royals. I thought they did a pretty good job yesterday in the game, and $1.50. I don't care if they're the Royals. Tigers aren't any world beaters. I mean, these are spots when you kind of want to maybe look to the we try to find our spots for the Royals.
Right. And that's what you got to do.
This is kind of the spot maybe for the Royals, but I want to take the over with I'll do it because you liked it a full run higher. I was leaning over for sure at 8. The move has me. The reported steam came in on the over. Tigers have gone over in 4 of Rodriguez's last 5 starts. Yarbrough, that 5.29 ERA. So let's try the over 8.5 here. I'll go with you on this one. We're almost done here, folks. One more. Thank you for hanging in with us. Over 100 today. And I got a little surprise for everyone at the end. So stick around.
Well, it's not your birthday.
No, it's nothing special. And I don't know if anybody even knows what I'm going to. It's not a big. I'm just going to talk about something.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. It's no pick. I don't think. Be saving them, but here we go. Let's see. So here's Luis on the Royals. See what we're talking about here. And Chakia says, "Give me the Royals on the run line." There. What is that price? That feels high. $1.35. That's not awful. Good job, Chakia. Okay. Sometimes I get worried when Takia wants to lay a big run line price, but I like that one here. And Jacoby on the over, Thomas on the over, Bionic. We'll take the Tigers. Look, if Rodriguez comes out and is Eduardo, it might be tough, but and this Yarbrough, we think of what he used to be with the Rays. Mindy, right? He's still that same guy. He could go he can go 1 inning or 2.
I was thinking of NASCAR.
Oh, right here. Yarbrough. Now this is Yarbrough. And that was
Yarbrough.
Yeah, boy. I'm talking about that was before they, that was when the cars were dangerous.
Yeah, I see Young Flea. He just retracted his message there, but we just did. We did cover the WNBA at the very beginning of the show because they're coming up here in a half hour. We did take the Fever plus 2.5, and we took the Wings. I don't remember exactly. I didn't write it down. About plus 8.
8, 7.5, probably 7 by now. We better get done. We better finish this show.
Yeah. So Young Flea, we just changed it around today. Our normal format, only because that game started so early, so you could get your bets in ahead of time there.
Right, let's get to the last game. Thank you, Young Flea. Nice to have you. I think maybe Young Flea's been here with us, but nonetheless, I knew where to come for good at WNBA picks.
Yeah, we haven't, agreed on 2 in a while, so I'm pretty excited for this morning.
We better get out of here, man. That game starts in half an hour.
I know.
The Twins and the Mariners, Maeda and Luis Castillo. Castillo is down to $1.45. The total, it's probably 7.5 flat, but I will say that it is the reported steam came in on the under, but ever since then, it's kind of moving higher. I'm showing it at 7.5 flat at most places, although one book is starting to favor the over now.
Yeah, this Twins team, they are the sub 500 team. It's one of those they have to go ahead and keep pace. We keep talking about it, or I keep talking about it, versus this Guardians team. And again, they're the ones that are 21st in runs scored here. They're one of the worst teams with runs scored on the road. And now they're coming up against Castillo, who doesn't like to give up too many runs. I think I got to go under this total of 7.5 here with Castillo today, 2.65 ERA. Maeda hasn't been bad, 3.15 since he's come off the IL here as well. So again, the Mariners, they have trouble scoring runs sometimes too. So let's hit the under in this one.
All right, Mindy says go under here with the Twins and the Mariners. Yesterday, that Twins and Mariners, Bailey Ober, everybody was kind of, I don't know, they were kind of hitting me under in that game because Bailey Ober was had a massive run of unders, but even the Twins and Mariners won 10-3 final yesterday. So. Oh, I don't know. I'm not. I was.
It was yesterday, Ramon. It was just.
I know, and I'm trying to put a lot of that out of my head. And you think, Seattle. Come on. I mean, they're at home. Maybe they should be an under here. I'm gonna take the. I can't pass up on $1.45 here. I'm gonna take the Mariners here at home with Castillo. Maybe I'm too much in love with Luis Castillo. That's.
Too much in love with Luis Castillo.
Well, I mean, look, he hasn't been great over his last 5 starts. He has an ERA near 5, but he does have that 3 ERA this season. The reports team came in on the Twins. I'm going to look to fade that move tonight. I'm going to take the Mariners on the money line. I'll take a favorite here. Jacoby says under. Bionic says take the Mariners. Takia says on Seattle. And Luis is on the Twins. Emmanuel says, give me the over in that one. All right. Great job, Mindy. You'll enter the plays. I'll take us over to Tony'sPicks.com. Take a look at our premium pick packages for the action here. We're going to get off. Mindy and I have got to enter our plays real quick. All these games are about to start, and we like to go over our plays here so you guys get the maximum number of reps with us and get a boatload. I don't know. Feels like 9 or 10 in there, Mindy. You'll give us. Take a look.
We haven't had 10 in forever.
Premium picks over here at Tony'sPicks.com from our crew. Tony's got his 3-pack all night games from Tony. Thank you, Tony. Daniel Wolosichuk's got a 3-pack that gets going in the day. Vinny DiMichele, a 3-pack. Nick Lagarettos has 2 in MLB, 1 in the NBA. He's got the later game there kicking off his card in the WNBA. It's also a big soccer day today, so take a look. Nick has a 3-pack in the football. Where's Gerardo? Where's Fernando? Give me the soccer updates for today. I would imagine we've got Champions League qualifications here already. I'm seeing some of the action underway today. I'm sure that's what his action is in, even though it's I'm sure it's in that. There it is. I'm seeing it right there. He's got Aisland and Lilstrom in there. Let's see what time that goes off. Yeah, that let's see. That's actually, well, I won't get into it. I don't think that's a Champions League game. So you guys can my soccer experts can let me know in there. Collins has got a 3-pack. Ben Ruhala's got a 3-pack as well. All right. Check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20%. Don't forget, premium picks, $15 plays. Tim Irwin's got one. Tony T's got one. Ben Ruhala's got one. Sean Dinwoody's got one. Those are introductory plays or discount plays from our cappers over at Tony'sPicks.com. Oh, I read them off and I wasn't showing them on the screen. Sorry about that. Okay. Just want to show them real quick, Mindy. Do these guys a little bit of respect here and putting their plays up. There they are, the $15 picks and all the multi-game packs that I just mentioned from Daniel, Tony, Nick, Vinny, and Collins, and Ben, and Ramon, and Mindy coming up in just a moment. Mindy,
ours are just invisible.
Ours
are just invisible at the moment.
Yeah, we're going to get them up there in just a moment. No doubt about it. Here comes Mindy, going to give us our plays and some salutations to get out of here. Look at this. Oh yeah, I couldn't. So it's 8 in MLB and 2 in WNBA. Gotcha.
Yeah, the wing didn't show up there. Okay. I put a wing.
Wow, Fernando can't bet on those Champions League qualifiers. Yeah, you need to get. Bionic wants to let me read those off here. Guardians, Orioles run line, Rangers money line, Astros under, Red Sox over, Diamondbacks run line, Cubs money line, Royals over. And we read that off because we know some of you are listening on podcast. Here's WNBA. We've got the Fever. We've got the Wings. This Fever starts in 25 minutes. So let's get out of here, Minnie. But we've got special surprise. I just want to
teased us.
Well, here's the thing, right? We're getting ready here for I just want to mention, the Women's World Cup.
Oh, okay.
Right. I just want to mention that, the Women's World Cup is coming up very, very soon, and it's going to be a great tournament. So the first games are going to get underway when? Tonight, Mindy, at midnight.
Midnight?
Women's World Cup. Midnight my time, I think 2 a.m. your time. So, everybody's, when does a Women's World Cup? Everyone's talking about it. First game up. Norway, New Zealand is coming your way in just about 16 hours. So Women's World Cup gets underway middle of the night. Norway, New Zealand. Of course, Norway is a 1.5 favorite there. Total 3. Ireland and Australia. This one should be a good one. Australia's favored by a 1.5. Total 2.5 over 35. We'll be on the air tomorrow. Same time here for more morning steam. Canada and Nigeria will kick off 90 minutes into our broadcast, hopefully by the end. And Switzerland and Philippines. Who does also plays tomorrow? How about the United States? They play the next day. They play a 4 o'clock, Mindy, or no, 8 p.m. I think your time.
Okay.
But it's going to be. This will be on Friday, but United States and Vietnam. The United States is favored by 6 goals. So I don't know. We'll give you maybe some picks on some of these, but how can you have a World Cup? Look, I get it. You invite more teams. It does great. We want soccer to grow in Vietnam.
He said soccer was the surprise.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Are we all excited for the Women's World Cup? I mean, the U.S. It's no walkover, man. Watch out for Brazil. Watch out for Australia.
I just heard that the U.S. is the favorite. That's about it for me.
Watch out for Spain. Okay, maybe they are, but come on, So just be ready for that coming up here, if you will. Women's World Cup starting. It's not a big. Of a surprise, but just want to mention because the tournament getting underway and all that. So, all right, Mindy, thanks a lot. Great job. We got to get out of here. For Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye. How long must I wait?